What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmemo. Today's going to be a real easygoing video. I don't want to stress anybody out, but I don't know about you guys, I've been looking at my Irish recruit, and I've been thinking to myself, I'm not ready for Wednesday. 'Cause if you guys don't know, Wednesday, we are finally getting those banners. We're finally getting the collab banners. Not about you guys, I really want to at least max most of the units out. Now, we'll get information here. We're in the middle of a war game right now. Unfortunately, and I do emphasize unfortunately, we don't have any information here as to what's popular on JP. Sadly. So we're going to have to pull the information out of JP, and I want to give it at least another day or two, probably either late tomorrow or sometime on Sunday, to see what the JP players are doing with the new collab units. Because there are a total of 3 banners incoming, okay? The first 2 banners we talked about, I was kind of iffy on them. I would still recommend at least going all the way in and trying to get what you can, because even if they don't seem totally crazy right now, you never know what's going to happen. Plus, you know, you just don't know if this is your one opportunity to get them or not. We've had plenty of collabs that have never seen a rerun. Data Live already got a rerun for its first collab. I've heavily speculated that we might get a rerun for their for the collab again. I think there's a lot of hints that might happen. But barring that, well, even with that, let's talk about this real quick, okay? So what do you need for next week, incoming next week? I was going to talk about this banner. I actually talked myself out of this because it's 400 paid Iris. But bear in mind, and I'm going to use the current banners as like an example. If I'm pulling on a banner and I don't get what I want out of that, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to use the paid banners, right? So I think right now, 400 paid would be better saved for one of these units. I think, or not these units, but for one of the paid banners for the collab. I think it just makes a lot more sense. So rather than spending my paid Iris right now on the Celestial Festival, which was honestly my intent, I was going to do that. And unfortunately, I just don't have the, I say drive / capability. I really just can't justify it at the moment. So it is what it is. But 3 banners incoming, okay? And the first 2 banners are going to be 4,000 Iris each. How do we figure that out? Well, there's 10 draws before you run out of guaranteed draws. And if you guys don't know, I'm a big proponent of never go over. Though I do often sometimes go over myself. It rarely, with very rare exception, pays. So, the first 2 banners, you're going to have 3 units on each banner, and you're going to need all 10 draws to get as much as you can out of that banner. Now, there are other options. You can use Star Bonds. These units will be time limited. So, if I go down here to the Special Exchange, go to the Gnome Ticket Exchange, I'm sitting on 3,600 gnome tickets, and I've been really bad about farming this year, so for me that's a bit of a detriment on me. I probably should be sitting at about 5,000, but gnome tickets basically are something that you can farm whenever you get a new event. If you farm up a lot of the large items, you can accrue a decent number of gnome tickets from every new event. So this is one thing you want to do, but you also want to bear in mind we do have an anniversary coming up in just a short matter of months. So you may want to actually wait and save these for that event. If you use 1 or 2 now, it's not the end of the world. Remember, it is 1,000 gnome tickets for an adventure star run, 1,500 for an assist. So right now, I could get 3 adventurers or 2 assists. So you do want to be a little, you know, you want to be, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, you want to make sure that you're being frugal with your gnome tickets. Because like I said, the anniversary's coming up in June, and you don't want to be caught, you know, out there in the open with no real way to max those units out either. Because the anniversary units, by and large, if you have to make a choice between the anniversary and the collab, choose the anniversary, guys. Anniversary units are going to be good for a long time. Case in point, the water team. So there is that aspect of it. So How much Iris do you need? The long and the short of it is for the double banner that's incoming on Wednesday, you're going to need 8,000 Iris. It's 4,000 per banner. Now, there is a second banner, and I don't know if we're going to get it on Wednesday or if they're going to wait a week like they did on JP to drop it. But with that second banner, it's going to be 2 units. It's still going to be 10 draws, just literally a carbon copy of this banner right here. So, 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th draws are guaranteed to be one of the new units. There are no double rates or anything like that, best I can tell. I don't believe that they did anything like that for JP. So, don't expect it's substantial rates. Here's the thing. I think that second banner blows the first banner completely out of the water. So if you have to make a decision, I think the second banner is good. I think it's better than the first banner. And then you can just chase the first banner for whatever CP rewards you need. But here's the deal. That means that not knowing whether this drops on Wednesday or maybe the week after or whatever, means not only do you need the 8,000 Iris for the first banner, you need the extra 4,000 for the second banner. A sum total of 12,000 Iris. Okay. Now, if you're like me, I'm not even sitting on 10K. Now, actually, I probably am. I just have a little tiny bit of farming to do. And if you guys don't know, one of the things that I've talked about with my Iris situation is I always leave a bit of the story mode undone. So if I go over here to story, I'll go to like, I believe Leafia's got, no, Leafia's actually got a decent chunk done. Would probably be Eyes then. Yeah. So Eyes has a few levels that are undone. They're not S-cleared. A lot of these aren't S-cleared. And even the later Bell quests, I've got a lot of these that are undone. Unfortunately, I did farm Leafy up for, I think, the prior anniversary. I don't think it was last year's anniversary. I think it was the anniversary before that. So I did farm Leafy. So there's a good chunk of farming that I could do here to get some last-minute Iris. And that's really nice. I like doing that for the last-minute Iris accrual. Also, one thing I always talk about are CP levels. If I go over here, go to the character list, and go all the way down to the bottom here, there's inevitably going to be some low-level units. In fact, I've got Revis, even Talvi's pretty low, Radari, and Vera that are all level 1, with the exception of Talvi, who's level 4. But so I can actually feed them up with a decent chunk of CP items and level them up. She just got up to level 24. I was kind of haphazard with her items, but I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 Iris out of that one maneuver. Another thing, and actually what's interesting, I might have gotten a little more. Let's go see. Yes, I did. So I got ICP. So I got 10 more. So it's 90, 100. Now, for every 5th unit that you level up here, notice this says CP level 16 times 140. When I get CP 16 times 145, it'll give me, so I basically awaken 5 more units on Ice side. That'll give me 10 more Iris. So this isn't something you would get on the normal, but it is something you want to check. So that would be, what, 110, I believe? Yeah. So 110 Iris for that one maneuver. The other thing to consider is if I go up here to enhance level status, and I go ahead and sort this down by 2 and 3 stars, I've got a lot of 2 and 3 stars that are completely low level that I could level up really quickly. So I'm just going to grab Lunar here, and I'm going to level her up. Now, the one thing I want you to pay attention to, all right, so she is now there. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can move this cable without taking it off my phone. There we go. So let's just get her up to level 60. Now, level 60, level 40, 50, and 60, I believe, should each wind up being about 10 Iris in the guild. So let's go ahead and max her out here. So what I've done here, getting her up to level 60, yields me about 30 Iris in the guild. Now, since she was already level 40, I probably already accrued that, but that's only 10 Iris off. So that maneuver alone was worth a good 10 Iris. If I had some dupes over, and I actually don't, but I believe I can actually go farm them up. Let's go down here. Shop. Let's go to the event unit exchange. Oops, go back. Go back. Event unit exchange. Where is it? There it is. So, where is she? She should be... Is she not in here? She should be in here. Why is she not in here? I thought she was one of the free-to-play units. Well, interesting that she's not. That is quite confusing, because I could swear she was. But nevertheless, I picked a bad unit to use as an example, apparently. But if I go down here, and let's say I get... Let's find somebody who's low level. Okay, Ryu. This is a perfect example. If I go ahead and release her status board, okay, rank up, that is going to be level 40, so that is then going to be 10 Iris right there. So, bam. Okay. Let's go ahead and release her status board again. Okay. Level her up. And level 50. Bam. 10 more Iris. And let's keep going. Level 60. That's going to be 10 more Iris. Perfect. Now we get to the status board. Now, I don't know how many dupes, if any, that I have for her, but let's go take a look. And, of course, I don't have any dupes for her either. But for each one of these dupes that I would release, and I know she's not in the free-to-play system, I would actually need to go do some 3-star tickets and farm her up. But for every single one of these release, it is another 10 Iris. So if you have a bunch of 3-stars that you're sitting on, I expunged a bunch of mine so that I could get CP levels. But if you're sitting on a bunch of those 3-stars, then you could pretty quickly level up some units. Now, one thing I will warn you, you only want to max... You don't want to max... Basically, you want to max limit break them, but you don't want to max level them. Because if you max level them, then you don't have the daily... down here, there's going to be a little one that says, you know, every single day, upgrade a unit, either release their ability or level them up. That's 10 Iris a day. You don't want to get all those 2 and 3 stars up to level 80. You want to leave it at level 76, but you'll be good to go. So now, basically in the course of making this video, I've accrued about 200-ish Iris. Pretty fast, doing very, very, very little. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of ways you can accrue Iris extremely quickly. Limit break some units, farm up some events you may not have farmed. Also, make sure you check the interact page. This is something I very, very often forget to do, and for good reason. So let's go grab Anya. So in stories, if you haven't been doing this, let's do this with voice just for the sake of silliness. Download that voice. As you can see, I really don't farm this up very often. I just leave this undone for various reasons. But a little bit faster and I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bam. There we go. Would you finish? Thank you. Okay. So if you haven't done these, you can actually go up here. And I've got a few quests still available for her. So there's going to be a decent amount of Iris that I could accrue just for beating these events. Also, outfits. As you unlock outfits, you get about 5 Iris per outfit. I'm missing 1 outfit for her. Not really that big of a deal, but these are things you need to watch out for. There's tons of Iris probably just chilling out there, and I may have even forgotten 1 or 2 methods, but if you have another method or if you have a favorite method, let me know in the comments section down below. But 12K is the sweet spot. So for me, I've got a little more than 4,000 or 2,000. I'm sorry, 2,000. Don't need to get everyone panicky to farm up, and I think I'm going to have that. Plus, don't forget that with Wargame, that's for me going to accrue about 700-ish. So I'm sitting pretty. I've got very little to do, and I'm going to be ready. So once Wargame's good to go, and those rewards come in, I should be sitting quite nice. But let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Like, comment, and share, of course. And I'll be back with more Danmachi for you guys really soon. Get that 12K Iris and wait. The one thing I will mention here, and I forgot to mention this in there, a lot of you guys are going to ask, what about the reruns? We don't know about the reruns, but the one thing I will tell you, because I did forget to mention this earlier, and I did remind myself here, If we do get reruns, they're probably going to be discounted. That does mean you're going to need quite a bit more. It's going to be about 3,000 per banner. But I'll be honest with you guys, even with rebalances, they're probably just going to be for collection. I doubt there's going to be anyone that you're going to want to max out, but if that does change, I'll be the first to let y'all know.